She always thought her son was just another teenager, moody, distracted, living in his own little world. To her, it looked normal. Late nights, closed doors, endless hours on his laptop. Whenever she asked, he'd glance up with tired eyes and murmur, "Just one more game, Mom." She wanted to believe him. And for a long time she did. From the outside, their life looked picture perfect. A quiet suburban street. A small house with flower beds she cared for every spring. Family portraits hanging neatly on the wall. Birthdays, vacations, Christmas mornings where smiles seemed permanent. To friends and neighbors, they were the family who had it all together. But behind those closed doors, something fragile was breaking. She remembered his childhood vividly. He was her miracle baby, the one she never thought she'd have. She remembered his first laugh, how it had filled the room with sunshine. His little feet running through the grass. His endless questions about the world, the way he clung to her hand when crossing the street. He was her shadow once, and she cherished it. Childhood slipped away, as it always does. Her sweet little boy grew taller, quieter, harder to reach. At first it was subtle. He stopped asking her to tuck him in at night. He preferred headphones to bedtime stories. The Lego sets and toy trucks were replaced by screens and glowing lights. She told herself it was normal. Children grow, they find independence, but she missed him. She missed them. By the time he entered high school, the distance was unmistakable. Family dinners turned into awkward silences. When she asked about his day, he shrugged. When she asked about his friends, he muttered, "They're fine." The boy who once shared everything with her now lived behind one-word answers. And every time he pulled away, she felt something inside her shrink. Still, she made excuses. It's just hormones. Teenagers are complicated, but the truth? She was afraid to push too hard. She was afraid of losing him completely. Then came the nights, the long, endless nights where she saw the glow of his laptop under the door. Sometimes she heard him laugh, the muffled sound of a video game or a call with friends. Other times silence. A heavy silence that stretched through the halls of the house and wrapped around her chest. She would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering what was happening on the other side of that door. At school, teachers began to notice too. They mentioned he seemed tired, distracted, less engaged. One even asked, "Is everything okay at home?" She smiled tightly and said, "Yes, he's just been busy." Teen stuff, you know. But deep down, she wondered if she was lying more to herself than to them. And then there were the little things, meals untouched. Long showers where he stayed under the water, as if trying to wash something away. A hollow look in his eyes that she couldn't quite name. Sometimes she'd catch him staring into space, lost somewhere far away. She wanted to reach him. But every time she tried, he pulled back further. One night, she decided to knock on his door. "Hey, can we talk?" she asked gently. There was a pause. Then his muffled voice, "I'm busy." Her throat tightened. "Okay, I just wanted to say goodnight. I love you." Silence. She stood there for a long moment, her hand resting on the wood, wishing it was enough, but it wasn't. She walked away with tears in her eyes, feeling like a stranger in her own home. Weeks passed. The distance grew. The silence thickened. And she kept telling herself it was just a phase. Until one rainy evening, everything changed. She was carrying laundry when she walked into his room. He was in the shower, steam curling under the bathroom door. His phone buzzed on the bed, lighting up the screen. She froze. She knew it was wrong. She knew privacy mattered. But something stronger than guilt pushed her forward. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. And then, her world shattered. It wasn't a friend texting him. It wasn't a game notification. It was a private chat, and the words on the screen made her knees buckle. "I feel invisible. Nobody cares about me. Sometimes I just don't want to wake up tomorrow." Her breath caught. Tears blurred her vision. She scrolled further, desperate and terrified. Every message was a scream disguised as a whisper. He had been pouring his pain into the darkness of the internet, confiding in strangers who knew more about his suffering than she did. His own mother. Her chest ached, as if her heart was physically breaking. She thought of every late night she brushed off. Every time she accepted "I'm fine" without question. Every meal eaten in silence. How had she missed it? How had she not seen the storm raging inside him? The bathroom door opened. She panicked, wiping at her tears. He walked in, towel around his shoulders, eyes narrowing as he saw her with the phone. "Mom, what are you doing?" Her throat closed. She couldn't speak. The phone buzzed again in her hand. His eyes followed it, then locked onto hers. His face twisted with anger. "You went through my phone?" His voice cracked like a whip. She broke. Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Yes," she whispered. "And I'm glad I did. Because I saw what you wrote. And my heart. My heart is breaking." He turned away, jaw tight. "You don't get it." "You never get it." She stepped forward, voice trembling. "Then help me, please. I should have seen it sooner. I should have asked harder. I should have listened better." But I'm here now, and I love you. Please don't shut me out." For a long moment, silence filled the room. The rain tapped against the window. The air felt heavy, suffocating. She braced herself for him to scream, to push her away. But instead, his shoulders shook, his face crumpled, and suddenly he was in her arms, sobbing, her arms wrapped around him like they used to when he was small. She held him tightly, rocking him gently. "It's okay," she whispered through her tears. "You are not invisible. I see you. I love you. I will always love you." That night, they talked for hours. His words came broken, halting, filled with pain. He admitted he felt like a burden, that nobody really noticed him, that some nights he wondered if life was worth it. Every confession shattered her, but she didn't stop him. She listened. For the first time in years, she truly listened. The days after weren't easy. Healing never is. He didn't suddenly become happy. He didn't suddenly open up about everything. There were still nights of silence, days where he shut himself away, but there were also small victories, fragile moments that gave her hope, a smile over breakfast, a laugh at dinner, a text in the middle of the day that simply said, "Thanks, Mom." She reached out for help, counselors, teachers, support groups. At first, he resisted. He rolled his eyes, said he didn't need anyone, but she kept showing up. She sat outside his door when he wouldn't talk. She knocked again when he said he was fine. She stayed patient through the storms. Slowly, things began to change. Progress came in small steps, not leaps. But each step mattered. Each step meant he was still here. And that was everything. She learned something every parent needs to know. Being there doesn't always mean fixing. Sometimes it means noticing the silence. Sometimes it means asking the same question twice. Sometimes it means sitting quietly in the same room, saying nothing at all, just being present. Because not every cry for help is loud. Some are hidden in text messages. Some are whispered into glowing screens. Some are written between the lines of, "I'm fine." So, to every parent listening, don't wait for the shout. Pay attention to the whispers. Ask again. Knock one more time. Sit down, even if they push you away. Your love, your presence, might be the lifeline they never had the courage to ask for. And one day, when they're ready, they'll know they were never invisible.